Our mind focuses on what we don't have, rather than what we want. Visualizing is a way to train and stretch the mind to make room for the manifestation of our deepest desires. Joseph Murphy, the author of the best-selling self-help book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, says that whatever beliefs, thoughts, and opinions we impress on our subconscious mind are made manifest in our experiences. Well then, how can we get our subconscious mind to work for us? How? 0. Does visualizing the desire help us overcome negative thoughts? It's what we are going to discuss here in today's video in light of Murphy's teachings. But before we start, make sure you hit the red subscribe button below this video and subscribe to our channel to be a part of our YouTube family. Let's now get started. Michelangelo was perhaps the greatest sculptor in history. He said, "I saw the angel in the marble and carved. Until I set him free, he saw David in the marble." His mental imagery allowed him to birth from his subconscious mind a genius creation. In a similar manner, when we visualize our desires, we become immersed in the state of having them, and it activates our minds to work on our behalf. This is what makes visualizing your desire important. Let's take an example to understand how visualizations help us live in the state of having our desires. Let's say there is a woman living in the city. She imagines herself going to a small village outside of the city where she can start a new life and write a novel. She visualizes herself sitting at a wooden desk, drinking a cup of hot coffee, and writing the final pages of her book. She feels the warm sun blazing in through a big picture window and hears the soft call of a morning dove. She can see the calm lake with its cold water. From the window of her home, she thinks about how she will enjoy kayaking on it. Later in the day, while imagining all this, she feels fulfilled, content, and at peace, not only in what she is imagining, but in reality. 2. Now, when she repeats this imagined scene, her subconscious mind starts feeling like it's real. You experience the same feelings and emotions as you would in reality. Repetition of the same scene impresses the subconscious mind, and ultimately resources become available that lead you toward the situation that you imagined. Circumstances are automatically created in favor of the goal that you imagine. For example, the woman who is imagining going to a village, sitting at a desk, having a cup of coffee and writing a novel, may receive a surprise phone call from an old friend who recently moved to that village, and he invites her there. The fact is, our subconscious mind can't distinguish between reality and imagination. If you imagine it, it will produce the same emotions and feelings that it will produce in reality. According to Joseph Murphy, there are 2 parts of the brain. One is the conscious mind, while the other is the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is responsible for producing emotions and feelings, which affect our attitude, behavior, decisions, and actions in our daily lives. But it lies below the conscious mind and can't differentiate between imagination and reality. It simply gets directions from the conscious mind in the form of thoughts and produces the relevant emotions or feelings because it is linked to the conscious mind. Whatever the conscious mind sends to it, it receives without arguing and considers it real. Now, if we play a scene in our conscious mind, our subconscious mind will accept it as real, and it will give rise to the same emotions and feelings that it will in some real situation. Now, the fact is that the mind has a tendency to support our beliefs, so that they get strengthened. It led us to circumstances and situations that were favorable to our beliefs. This is natural. We notice things more that are important to us, or that we think often about. Let's say you speak English, but you move to China and speaks English. This is a natural process. We are automatically led to situations and circumstances that are in accordance with our beliefs. Whatever you imagine and feel deeply, circumstances will lead you to experience it in reality. No matter what it is, it will come in real form. You see, naturally, we all have a tendency to live among people who are like us. We want to surround ourselves with people who think like us, dress like us, and talk like us. It's natural. We tend to find people who are like us in a similar manner. What we believe or think about most of the time becomes real, and in the same way, whatever scene we imagine becomes real. Pharmaceutical scientist and author Dr. David Hamilton, Ph.D., has studied the mind-body connection and says in his book, "It's the thought that counts." Why mind over matter really works, that thoughts, feelings, and intentions are strong enough to affect our genes. According to him, everyone can harness the power of thoughts and feelings to bring about positive health effects. Many times he talked about visualization. He suggested many visualization techniques that are used by thousands of people around the world in an article titled "Visualization Alters the Brain and Body." He writes, "Your brain cannot tell the difference between something that's real and whether you are just imagining it. In his book, he refers to an experiment done by scientists at Harvard University involving brain scans and imagery. The scientists taught a simple 5-finger combination of piano notes to a group of people which they practiced for 2 hours a day. This was done for 5 consecutive days. He said that another group of volunteers didn't actually play the notes but just imagined playing them. They visualized the same combination for the same time period, 2 hours a day for 5 consecutive days. Hamilton says that the brain scans of those who practiced physically and of those who just imagined it was the same. It's because the brain can differentiate between what's real and what's imagined. Using visualizations, we can make positive impressions on our subconscious mind, which will lead us to experience the desired circumstances in our lives. Now let's discuss what visualization techniques or methods you can use to visualize your desire. What methods are considered to be the most effective? Well, here I will share with you some of the best methods recommended by Joseph Murphy and other famous self-development teachers. The first method is to meditate on the condition that you want to produce. Dr. Wayne Dyer, an internationally renowned author and speaker in the field of self-development, writes in his book, "Continuously contemplate yourself as being surrounded by the conditions you wish to produce." He explained this idea with an illustration by saying the Wright brothers didn't contemplate the staying on the ground of things, just as Thomas Edison didn't contemplate the darkness of things. Instead, they placed their attention and focus on a compelling vision which provided motivation to achieve their goals. Now, this second technique involves meditating on a word or affirmation. Write an affirmation, a phrase, or even a single word that expresses your desire. For example, if you want to become a well-known author, you can write something like, "I am an internationally recognized author." Write it on a note card and focus on it for 2 to 5 minutes. Expressing who you want to be or what you want to get will be placed in your subconscious mind. This technique is very effective because in the morning your mind will be sharp and at its full potential, and you will be able to imagine better what you want to manifest in your life. Some experts suggest practicing this technique for 21 days, but according to Joseph Murphy, it depends upon many factors. For instance, what it is that you want and what your beliefs are about your desire. It also depends on emotions and feelings. Strong and positive emotions, you will be able to visualize it more clearly, and it will become your reality. The third visualization technique is the mental movie technique. This is Joseph Murphy's famous technique, and many times in his book he talks about it. There is a famous Chinese proverb, "A picture is worth 1,000 words." William James, the father of American psychology, stressed the fact that the subconscious mind will bring to pass any picture held in the mind and backed by faith. Act as though I am and I will be. In this technique, you simply create a movie of what you want. It's actually a scene that suggests what will happen. When you manifest your desire, or how you will manifest it, you imagine and visualize this scene again and again with strong emotions, just like it is happening in reality. If you successfully create such a scene and imagine it daily for some time with emotions and feelings, life will lead you towards a situation where it will happen to you in reality. Joseph Murphy suggests practicing this technique in the morning, when you wake up, and at night before you go to bed. The more you practice this technique, the more the scene feels real to you. When you start feeling it, you will start living it. You will automatically enter a situation or state where you will get what you want. The fourth useful visualization technique is the use of a vision board. So guys, thanks for watching this video. If you have found this video useful, leave a like and share it with your friends, and if you want to share your ideas and views, please leave a comment below this video for more videos.